What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Let It Be Known. I'm Darren Randall. We back with Lamar, and welcome to Let It Be Known. But how everybody doing today? Lamar, how you doing, bro?
Shit, feeling good. Shit, I'm just ready for these playoffs. I'm happy that the regular season is over with, and now it's down to the top teams, the teams that we all knew was gonna be the best teams at the end. This is the Niners. You feel me? The Eagles. Seahawks a little shaky, but they started off pretty decent. The Buccaneers obviously got Tom Brady. Man, the NFL always gonna let Tom Brady get to the playoffs, even though they had a
Hey,
fucking losing record.
t-
Um, but yeah, NFL. My bad. I'm gonna let it be known real quick. NFL should change that shit. By next year, they should have no matter who wins a division. If it's a weak ass division one year, they don't need to be in there, bro. It needs to be the top 17, bro. The best
oh, so
record,
no,
point blank.
so
No
division wouldn't
division
even.
winners. Yeah, that shit shouldn't even matter, bro.
So what would be the
Do
point
it
of even
like the
having a
NBA.
division then?
Sure, take it out. Fuck them divisions. Them divisions don't match up like that anyway. Bro, you got the
Okay,
Tennessee
that's true.
Titans in the NFC. Well, I guess they
And
Tennessee is. I guess it's South.
but anyway, let's dive into it though.
Anyway.
Anyways, we had Damar Hamlin. Actually, Damar Hamlin, he was just released today, and he ended up flying back to Buffalo. He's gonna be end up doing some work in the hospitals over there. But I'm happy that he's out of the hospital. He's out of Cincinnati. He's back home. He's back. Trying to find his next routine, trying to get back to his routine. And like they said, it's a big major step. Only a week after today marks exactly a week. So I'm happy that he's good, and I'm happy that he's awake, and I'm happy that his family's able to be with him. And hopefully whatever his NFL career or whatever next in his chapter, I'm looking forward to it. No matter what happens, he got a lot of success on the way, a lot of money on the way. He got an inspirational story that these type of things don't make a movie too. They gonna make sure he get his money, but most importantly, make sure his health is right. But next, let's dive
And
into this
also too,
Cowboys. Let me
my
go
bad.
ahead.
I
You
was
got
gonna
any
say I could.
words from?
My bad. I was just gonna say I see Hamlin being able to be on like on the coaching staff in the future, like the probably the Bills coaching staff, something like that. If he was down to.
Somewhere in there, whatever they'll accept them with, even work with the corners, work with the somewhere in the defense.
Yep. DB coach.
Anything,
Mm,
anything just to learn. But
yep.
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Cowboys versus Washington game. Cowboys got absolutely fucked. They got absolutely obliterated, whatever, man. They got it
Oh,
handed to them.
they got they got obliterated.
Exactly. And when first coming into this game, the Cowboys, they still had a chance to get that first number one seed if the Eagles end up losing. So I feel like the Cowboys knew that a lot was on the line. They didn't come in with the same intensity. They didn't match Washington. The whole run game got shut down. But how do you feel like Cowboys should feel going into this week? And how did you feel like they did in the game yesterday against Washington?
So first off, I definitely think they should be worried. Just because Dak still hasn't really looked elite consistently. He had I think what game was that? It was I can't think of who they played, but he had a very good game again. Oh my bad, he played the Eagles. He had a very good game against us. But it seemed like when he played the Jags, he did bad. He threw a pick six to lose the game for them. Then he also threw another pick six against the Commanders. He had two interceptions this past Sunday. He is Dak, bro. Like, I understand it's Dak. He's the cause of them, doing, you know, bad. But he's the quarterback. Quarterback got to take responsibility, and he's the reason why they, turn the ball over.
Well,
But in the game against Washington, I just think they just honestly, I think they got the report that the Giants starter wasn't playing, and I think from there they just probably was like, "Fuck it, we ain't going." The Eagles got this. They ain't about to lose to the Giants third stringers. So
right. But when I'm looking at, so you can even look at the stats. You see Dak Prescott, he did 14 for 37, 128 yards, one touchdown, one interception. But my biggest problem with the game yesterday, I know a lot of people want to blame Dak Prescott. He's putting the ball at risk. One, who was the corner? I want to say it was Fuller. He threw it to the outside. It was damn near picked, and then he threw it again, and it was fucking picked to the same exact play, different wide receiver, but same exact corner, same exact play. And I'm like, Dak, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, you're not adjusting. You're not learning off each play. You're still doing the same thing you've been doing all season, damn near all your career. But if you watch the game, my biggest problem was the running game. I'm looking at the stats again. You got Tony. He put up what, 7 carries, 19 yards. You got Zeke. He put up 8 rushes, carries for 10 yards. So it's like the whole run game got shut down. You're asking Dak Prescott to go sit back in that pocket like he's Tom Brady and make throws. And I don't feel like that. I feel like Dak Prescott is a problem, but he's maybe not as big as a problem as everyone's trying to make it seem. When you got no run game, you asking him to be Tom Brady, sit back there, maybe get a run game, kind of like how the Niners do it. Give Dak. He can make the throws, he can do certain things, but he can't sit back there all day and keep throwing and launching the ball.
Especially now with the offensive line. I feel like if they had a better offensive line, maybe he could, because we did see him do this last year before he got hurt.
Right.
And he did that in the beginning of the season too, to kind of start off. He was like attempting like 40 passes a game. And their offensive coordinators was Kellen Moore. He was a former quarterback at Boise State. Played in the NFL, but that's the MO. Like when you paying Dak Prescott a lot of this money, you want him to throw the ball about 30, 40 times a game. But when it comes to playoffs, you do want to have that balance. You want to have that run game balance too. So that could definitely be an issue. I feel like if the Cowboys don't figure out that running game, they're going to be going home in the first round, just like last year.
So that's my next question. To me, I feel like it's too late for the Cowboys to try to get things figured out. It's clear what their offense is, and it's clear that it's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
The only good thing is that they're going against the Bucs this week. The Bucs been struggling themselves, so they got probably the easiest team they could play in the first round. So at least they can say they didn't get a first round, like they didn't lose in the first round, not a first round elimination. But how do you feel like the Cowboys should feel going in this week? Do you feel like who has the upper hand, the Buccaneers or the Cowboys?
Well, obviously we know who over there, man. We know who that quarterback in Tampa, man. It's called Tampa, not Tampa. It's called Tampa.
Yeah.
So we got Tom Brady over there, man. And when you got the GOAT, when you're going against a GOAT, you should be worried at all times, because Tom Brady is very smart. He's been in these playoff situations, these pressure situations before, and it seems like he thrives better under pressure. So I think the Cowboys should be worried, in my opinion. Obviously, the Cowboys are going to be favored just because they have the better record. They have a better defense as of right now. I think the Buccaneers defense is pretty banged up, but I think they might have a few players coming back. I gotta double check on that. But this should be I don't say equal game, but it should be a good game, especially offensively. You have three great receivers in Tampa. You got Godwin, you got Mike Evans, and you got Julio Jones in the cut. You feel me? Julio Jones is a GOAT, low key. So yeah, man, we're gonna see. They play in Dallas too, so that should be a good one. Tom Brady going to Dallas. So we'll see. I mean, I got Tampa though. I bet with Tom. I ain't never go against Tom when I'm betting.
So is that because what the Cowboys showed you this past weekend? Is it because of what they showed you all season, or is it just purely because of Tom Brady and what you've seen from him throughout your lifetime?
To be honest, I ain't gonna lie. I would say just purely based off of Tom Brady. Okay. But also too, when you bring those other situations up, I mean that Tampa's defense isn't as legit as it was the past like a year or 2 years ago, but they do still have guys over there. They have playmakers. They have corners that are decent. Yeah, and if Dak Prescott don't protect the ball, Tampa's defense will create turnovers. That's what they're known for. They create turnovers. They get big stops. So yeah. Dallas offense got to come with their A game. Dallas defense is always pretty decently good. As long as Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs, and as long as they communicate, and as long as they get that defense rolling, it should be pretty good on defense. But it's more of the offense that worries me about Dallas. Like I feel like they're gonna turn the ball over a few times.
To me, they're gonna have to find a run game. They're gonna have to find some balance into this game. But moving on to the next game, it was also a crucial game. You had the Lions versus the Packers, and the Packers had a chance. They were one of the only few teams to have a chance to create their own destiny. That's what all teams dream of: a chance to punch their own fate, to have a ticket to their own fate. And the Packers end up choking. They lost 20-16. But do you feel like this game was a big blow to Aaron Rodgers' career, to his legacy?
I wouldn't say his career. To be honest, I really wouldn't say his career. Because he was already kind of like in turmoil with Green Bay. Just the whole, even like 2 years ago when they didn't draft the first round receiver, and then it was just this off-season talk. And then when Devontae Adams left, they was wondering was Aaron Rodgers going to return? I don't think he's going to return. I think he's either going to retire, or I think he's going to go to another team, most likely the Raiders, to pair it back up with Devontae. That makes the most sense. But yeah, I don't think this is a knock on his career though. But for them to lose to the Lions, I feel like it was just a good payback for the Lions. Remember I was telling you this Lions payback because a few years ago Aaron Rodgers threw that Hail Mary and won the game in Detroit. So now the Detroit went to Green Bay. They won the game in the last second. Not last second, but they won the game like the last 2 minutes, and yeah, they pulled it out. And I'm happy for Detroit, even though they're not going to the playoffs. This is big momentum for them going into next season. Jared Goff actually played really really well against the Packers. He shocked me. I think he might have had one turnover, but he was pretty accurate with the ball, especially throwing down the field. So yeah, I get props to Detroit though, for real, for real. And then also
And
too, low key, that little penalty that number 7 had, that probably could have cost them a little bit. They got closer to the goal line than what they were supposed to. So
and we've seen this every season now. We've seen it at the end of this game. I'm sure if Aaron Rodgers comes back next year, we're gonna see it at the end of the last game of next year. Every game they're looking at Aaron Rodgers like, is this the last game? Is he gonna retire? You see them walking out with Randall Cobb, and it looked like he did one last look around the arena to like this really might be it. You seen him with Jamal
and
Williams. He asked for his jersey at the end of the game. He said he asked
J-Mo.
can he yeah, he asked can he have it, and Rodgers said I'm gonna have to keep this one. And I don't know what that means. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like maybe because I don't feel like if you lose a game and you get eliminated, I feel like what's the point of keeping that jersey?
Nah, but like exactly how you said it, bro. Like when I first heard that comment, I kind of was like, "What the heck?" But then, then when I really, really thought about it, I was like, "Oh, okay. This has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers being like selfish, not wanting to give his jersey away. He wants to keep this last jersey that he played in Green Bay and Lambeau. You feel me?
That's what I'm
That's why I
asking you.
said
So
this
is he
is his
done
last
with
game.
Lambo? Oh, it was his last game in
Yeah,
Lambo.
I think he done. I think he done.
And I wanted to bring up this clip, and I wanted to ask you, what do you think that Adam Lazard was referring towards? Because I don't know if this is how the whole team feels. Is everyone this negative, or if it's just him? If he has like a personal problem with the team, or other players, I'm not sure. But let's hear what Lazard had to say.
This will obviously be a difficult offseason. Do you expect 12 to be back in the fold next year?
I don't know where I'm gonna be at.
Have you been reflecting about that when you left the field tonight?
Definitely going into the game,
Lazard.
realization that my first game here and potentially my last game, which it is, was going to be versus the Lions at home. So, I took just a few moments just to kind of soak it all in and just like pat myself on the back, I guess, and just be thankful for this opportunity and this experience to be.
But yeah, so you heard what he had to say. He basically said he's not coming back. He didn't even leave the door open. He didn't leave a chance. He just completely shut the door and said he's not coming back to Green Bay. Do you feel like maybe Aaron Rodgers had to do with some of this? Maybe he's tired of the bullshit, tired of the shenanigans. There's a lot of drama going on this year, and there's been a lot of drama going in for the last 3 to 4 years. Aaron Rodgers has been on this squad.
Nah, yeah. So Darren should be happy, man, because I feel like Alan Lazard might be up to coming to the San Francisco 49ers just
I've
because,
been thinking it also.
yeah, and him and Purdy, they played together at Iowa State. So that's you feel me? That could be a big target for Purdy. Y'all, I don't think y'all got any receivers that's over like 6'4", 6'5". Maybe Jawan Jennings, but I think Jennings might be 6'2". But yeah, Lazard is legit 6'4", 6'5". He got hands, big body receiver. He had a decent career in Green Bay. Yeah. But hey, man, like I think he is frustrated. I think that was just his frustrations. But like you said too, I think that had a little bit to do with Aaron not returning. I think he kind of knows too, like Aaron's not going to be back. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes in the locker room that maybe Aaron was talking to maybe his guys about, kind of like hinting at like not returning. Right. So yeah, I don't think he's coming back.
I think he's also irritated because look, the first question that the reporter asked him is about Aaron Rodgers. Is 12 coming back? Yeah. Not about me, not about Adam Lazard. Yeah. My contract's coming up also, but you don't ask about me. You ask about Aaron Rodgers. Literally every question is about the quarterback. That could get irritating. Even when we're watching it with Trey Lance, we're watching it with Brock Purdy. It's like every question is about the quarterback. Why are you not asking about George Kittle? Why are you not asking about like the guys that are making the plays? You're only asking about quarterbacks, and that's how it's always been. It's a quarterback-driven league. But I feel like that's where some of the irritation also comes from. What did you say, though?
Yeah, I would say so. But in a sense, as a player, you can't really get irritated because look who your quarterback is. I can see if your quarterback was fucking Mike White. Like, I mean, it just depends on the situation because everybody knows, like I said, Aaron Rodgers was on the verge of maybe not coming back, so that's why they, and I feel like Alan Lazard, not even feel like Alan Lazard is the number one target for Aaron right now. So that's if
Well,
Devontae was there, I'm pretty sure they would ask Devontae too, like, oh, what's up with Aaron? So that's why they asked Allen, is Aaron coming back? Because even though Christian Watson has been doing really well, I don't think he's the number one target. Even before Watson came, I feel like Lazard was the number one target. He was leading like the team in receptions until like the last few games when Watson went crazy. So Watson will take over though. Like now that Lazard is leaving, Watson will take over number one spot now though.
But like you said Lazard, he's never been a true number one wide receiver. If anything, Christian Watson, I think he started to become. Oh, you'll give him number one this year? I feel like Christian Watson took that number one spot after what, week 10, week 8?
No, that's what I was. That's what I was implying. Like Alan Lazard was the number one target, like the first, like I want to say 7-8 weeks, and then Christian Watson when he basically overcame all those drops and started, I think he had like 7 touchdowns in 6 games. That's when he became the number one target. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's going on with Green Bay, but let's move on. We got to talk about Lamar Jackson because it's getting scary. The playoffs start this week, and we still haven't heard too much news from him. So it was reported today. They didn't even say it was reported by, but around the NFL reported Ravens coach John Harbaugh has no update on quarterback Lamar Jackson's status for this playoff game against the Bengals. And that's kind of scary because we just seen the Bengals play a couple of days ago, and that game didn't look good. You have Brown, a quarterback that's only played, 2 to 3 maybe starts. Huntley, I'm not sure if he's coming back. And this goes back to the question, is Lamar Jackson really hurt? Or does he not want to come back because he hasn't got played? Playoffs is coming up. I know Lamar Jackson doesn't want to sit out for the playoffs, but I don't know, can the Ravens pay him like right now during the season? I don't know if they could do that. How does that work?
I mean, they can, but it's not likely. Like also too, Lamar Jackson already came out earlier in the season and said like by week such and such, I forgot what week exactly, then we're just gonna have to wait. Like I'm not about to be distracted, talking about contract talks during the season. So the deal has to get done. If the deal is gonna get done, it's gonna be done in the off season if it gets done, which I don't think it is, to be honest. I think the Ravens, they've been bullshitting. They've been playing Lamar Jackson out of his money. And I think he's gonna go somewhere else. I think he's gonna go like LA or somewhere. Like I'm telling you, bro, he's gonna go somewhere where they're gonna pay him.
No, Matthew Stafford said today that he's coming back for sure, whether McVay stays or whether McVay goes. And I don't know if they even have the money to sign a guy like Lamar, but will Lamar even come back for this game though? Would he come back for the playoff game?
That's honestly a hard ass question, bro. Obviously, I'm pretty sure if we was watching like ESPN or something, and like they probably would say no, just because they want him to get paid, and they always been saying like if I was Lamar Jackson, I wouldn't come back and play another down.
Right.
But it depends on Lamar, man. Knowing Lamar, how competitive he is. Just hearing him mic'd up the few times he was mic'd up, shit, he might come back. Shit, he might. He loved them boys, man.
If you're that competitive, you've been with the team for 4 to 5 years now. You guys have been in the playoffs. You guys have lost in the playoffs. You've been with this squad together. It's hard to be healthy and say, I'm not going to help you guys. I'm not going to come in. I'm not going to play. And I know you got to put yourself first, but as a competitor and as a football player, it's hard to it feels like you're giving up on your team. There's no other way to say it. It just feels like you're giving up on your team. And I don't want to say he is giving up on his team, but at the same time, I don't know. It's a sticky situation.
I ain't gonna lie though, bro. When you look at it though, they don't got no weapons, and it's like, and it's not like they really surrounding weapons around them, So I feel like when it does come to playoffs, like bro, when it comes to playoffs, bro, they still gonna get their ass whooped. Bro, they literally just played the Bengals. They gotta play them again in Cincinnati. It's gonna be the same result. Cincinnati gonna be on that ass.
With Lamar or without Lamar. Lamar hasn't played in I think 5 to 6 weeks, and now you want to just throw him in against a Cincinnati Bengals team that's been rolling and who's been smashing and like absolutely on the tear for the last couple of weeks. Ever since Ja'Marr Chase came back, it's looking like they just got that special connection again. It's like I don't know. It's nice though. It's kind of like a Randy Moss, Tom Brady starting to come slowly but surely. They're starting to build it. And I don't know if you've seen Joe Burrow looking like he got his footwork back. You seen the moves he was hitting
bro.
them defenders with?
And,
Left, right,
bro,
left
in the
stick, right stick, juke.
bro, in the pocket, his pocket presence. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The way he moves in the pocket and like his ability to stay in the pocket, but able to kind of like move around in there, that shit is pretty impressive. I ain't gonna lie.
It's not like he's
Like,
running.
not
He's
even-
staying in the pocket and just moving around. He's not
Yeah.
trying to run. He's not trying to get a first down. He's trying to create longer times to make a play. That's what I fuck with Joe Burrow. I think he's really becoming a true quarterback, a true top tier quarterback. Like he's been up there.
And his awareness is crazy too. Like it seemed like that's one of the drills he definitely practices every damn day. Is that kind of like not necessarily scramble drill, but like he's kind of like, you know, again, his movement in the pocket so he can get, like you said, he can create more time to throw down the field.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. But who's your winner for this game? Going again with the Ravens and it's the Bengals. Assuming, let's say Tyler Huntley ended up coming back, because I feel like he should be able to come back at least for this week.
Ty Huntley is cool. He good. But I got the Bengals, bro. The Bengals defense is they legit. They shut the Ravens down. I think the final score was like 20. What was the final score? Like I think they only let the Ravens score about like I think a touchdown or two.
Yeah, it was ugly. It wasn't looking good. As soon as the game really started, you already seen what the Bengals are on. You know, really the Ravens looked like they was just a deer caught in the headlights. You could tell it looked like a whole brand new team. You could tell they need Lamar and they focus too much around Lamar. But you could tell it's like without a run game, without a quarterback running, this offense is pure shit. Y'all didn't try to help Lamar. Y'all basically just said, Lamar, go out there and do it, but we're still not gonna pay you. I don't know. I don't fuck with it. But let's talk about the next game. You had the Dolphins. The Dolphins played the Jets yesterday, and they ended up losing. What was the final score? 6-11. It was basically all off field goals. And the Dolphins ended up getting that 2-point conversion at the end of the game. But how are you feeling with the Dolphins? With Tua Tagovailoa, is he going to come back this week? He's risking a fourth concussion if he does. He already had 3? Well, I guess they only said 2 were like official, but really 3 to me.
Yeah, it's definitely 3. But it's sad to say, bro. It really is sad to say, but knowing how the NFL is, and I feel like he is gonna come back. Especially if he personally feels like he can come back, and if he wants to come back, he will be back. And knock on wood, hopefully he's able to stay healthy. But man, if he honestly suffers another concussion, like knock on wood, if he suffers another concussion again in this game, his career might be over, bro.
He's
like for real.
He's risking a lot. He's coming back after 1 week or 2 weeks removed from the concussion. He's already had he's already had damn near feels like he's missed 25, 40, 45% of the time in the league. He's going against a Bills team with a nice defense, with a nice pass rush. They're going to be on him all game. It's just
if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the team that had him woozy in the first place. Remember when they should have took him out? And he got up like all days, but they never took him out. That was against the Bills. So they're going to be on his ass again, bro. Ed Oliver I'm telling you, bro. Ed Oliver's coming for that boy.
And do you feel like the final decision should come up to Tua? Should it come to the league? Should it come to the coaching staff? Who should decide if Tua plays this game?
It definitely shouldn't come down to Tua. Hell no. Hell no, bro. We already had, bro, you got to think about the circumstances. The Bills versus the Dolphins. We got Hamlin, who just came off that crazy freak injury, and then you got Tua, who also had a freak injury when he got his fucking head banged on the floor, and that motherfucker was throwing up crip and shit. You feel me? So scary. It was scary. It was very scary. Not to make fun of the situation, but it was very scary. Never seen nothing like it. But I just feel like you got to leave it up to the doctors, and I just feel like you can't throw Tua in there just because the Bills and Dolphins already suffered so much trauma from injury. I just mentioned the Hamlin thing. Everybody was spooked. And then the Tua thing, everybody was spooked. So you got to stay clear, man. This got to be a clear playoff game, a good game, no injuries. I mean, it's going to be injuries. You can't prevent that, but you can't throw Tua back in there. You can't throw Hamlin back in there. You feel me? So I think it's best for Tua to stay out, in my opinion. And I got the Bills winning this one, though. I don't think the Dolphins stand a chance.
Without Tua, or even with Tua, they wouldn't have an opportunity to win.
Yeah, I feel like if they had Tua, maybe. But remember when Tua?
That's why Tua gives them a chance, and they're gonna play him if he's hurt.
Yeah, Yeah, but remember, like we said, he already had 3 concussions. When he came off his last concussion, that boy was throwing interceptions that was very questionable, and there was people saying maybe it was that concussion that was causing him to not necessarily read the defenses correctly. So shit, who knows? He might go out there tomorrow and shit the bed tomorrow. He might go out there and make some more crazy ass throws because he probably still suffering from concussion symptoms, low key.
Yeah, they probably should. If Tua's really gonna be the quarterback long term, if they really believe in him, and I'm really not sure they do anymore. I don't know if they really want him to be the franchise quarterback, but if he is, I feel like you have to sit him and build off towards the next season. Let's try to give Tua some more weapons or maybe a better offensive line. Let's try to get him a better run game. I don't know, but do you even feel like Tua is gonna be the main quarterback going into the future? Are they gonna try to draft somebody going into this offseason?
Nah. If Dolphins were really in, if Mike McDaniels was a smart fucking coach, I necessarily wouldn't. You don't have to draft a guy. I mean, that would be ideal just because you get a younger guy. You would get him, on an automatic 4-year contract for this rookie contract. But if I'm McDaniels, bro, I'm going with Jimmy G on God, bro.
Okay,
just because because look, bro, it makes sense. Jimmy G was under Mike McDaniels. He knows the system. He's familiar with McDaniels, and that's the NFL now. A lot of times, like when you have a coordinator who's the coach at a different team, they usually bring you along within like a year or two because you know the system, you're familiar. Remember, like what's kind of a little different, but remember how they call the Commanders the Commanders. They call them the Commanders because Ron Rivera brought all his Panthers to the Commanders.
But he already did that. Miami Mike already did that. He already brought all the Niner players to the Miami Dolphins. I don't think he needs to keep bringing on Niner players as the years keep piling up.
I'm just my bad. I had to clarify. I'm saying if they do bring Tua back, wanting him to kind of like compete for the starting spot, they should also bring in Garoppolo because that can give Mike McDaniels kind of like a security blanket. Like the system, you've been up under us, and it ain't like he trash. Garoppolo plays pretty decent.
You're gonna trade one injury-prone quarterback with another one, and Jimmy Garoppolo did not play that decent.
No, I wouldn't trade him. I would just sign him in free agency.
But you're gonna have them both on the same squad. They both injury-prone. They both have a chance of getting hurt. And then you look at Jimmy Garoppolo, he missing.
I would sign Garoppolo. And then I would draft a quarterback later on in the draft.
Answer me this question: does Jimmy Garoppolo have a deep ball?
I feel like he has a decent deep ball, but the thing is too, you can't just go with inexperience though. When you have a winning team, like when you have a team that's able to win a Super Bowl, so how the Niners, for example, right? I feel like they was only a quarterback away, for real. They was only a quarterback away. They had everything. Same thing with Dolphins. There, they got defense, they got weapons, they got running back. They only missing a quarterback, bro. You see when Tua's at full health and at full strength, you see how good they can be.
So who has a better deep ball, Tua or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Probably Tua, but it don't really matter. The deep ball matters.
He underthrows Tyreek all the time. It does matter with the Dolphins. They have a speedy offense. Their whole offense is basically focused on deep balls, but they never can hit the deep ball because their quarterback can't make the throw.
Bro, I didn't see Garoppolo throw a deep ball to Ayuk what's that boy, Gray?
I ain't seen him throw one to Emmanuel Sanders, bro. I ain't seen it. But let's get on to the next topic. I don't want to talk about Jimmy no more. That motherfucker give me a headache, man. Motherfucker give me gas. But moving on to the next one, you got
give me the runs.
Give me the runs, bro. My stomach getting the bubble guts and shit talking about Jimmy. But next, you got Ian Rappaport reported sources that Arizona Cardinals have fired. Let me restart that. Ian Rappaport reported the Arizona Cardinals have fired coach Cliff Kingsbury on a 1 year after giving him a 1 year contract extension. And if you remember, they ended up giving him how big was that deal? It was like
I'm not sure.
It was hella big. I want to say
it was it definitely was some bread though, because that boy got a fat crib.
Yeah, it was pretty hefty. And then he also gets to keep all the money after this season. So even though they end up firing him, so Ian Rappaport basically reported that it was like a mutual type of split. Cliff Kingsbury was kind of done with it, and they were kind of done with him. and I understand it.
Mm.
But one thing that really bothered me, this is coming off a loss to the Niners, and I was watching the game yesterday. The Niners are about to score. They're at their own little goal. They're at the goal line. It's like 30 seconds left. There should be no reason for Cliff Kingsbury calling the timeout. He should be wanting the time to go all the way down. And for some reason, he calls like an unnecessary ass timeout, and that's when I already knew it was over with. I was like, "What the fuck was that?" It's time for him to go. But did you feel like they made the right decision getting rid of Cliff Kingsbury instead of getting rid of Kyler Murray?
I do. You gotta trust the player a little more over the coach. And then also too, Kingsbury didn't win any games. I think they only won one home game this year. That means a lot for your fans. And also too, I feel like certain things that he was doing, like he's like how you mentioned, certain things that was happening during the season, like him arguing with arguing with Kyler Murray, and this is like little stuff like that. Like I feel like it was time for him to go. But hey, Kingsbury, he's a credible coach. I feel like even if he don't stay in the NFL, I think he's gonna get a head coaching job right away in college. He was a pretty good college coach. He was decent, good play caller, offensive wise. But I think he'll get another shot as an OC though, somewhere in the NFL. I could be wrong, but I think he'll get a shot in the NFL.
Okay, I was listening to Ian. He said he actually doesn't see him coming back at all. He felt like he's gonna step away from the NFL, and whatever his next career path takes him, he's gonna take him. Probably enjoy the league away from the league for a couple of years. I don't think anybody should be lined up to sign him. He just had DeAndre Hopkins. He had just had Kyler Murray. He had a JJ Watt. He had
Yeah,
Chandler.
but
He
but
had,
JJ
like,
Watt,
they had a pretty maybe not this year. Okay,
JJ
this
Watt,
year was
it was brutal year, bro. They was injury prone. That was like
it
the
was
first injury prone team that out of anybody. Like they didn't have D Hop, but he wasn't injured, but he was suspension. They didn't have D Hop for like the first 6 games, and
no
then
excuses
Marquise
in that
Brown
one.
got
I don't want to hear no
yeah,
excuses
and
about
then
the suspension. Don't take drugs.
I mean to his defense, I don't know. He claimed that he didn't even know it was in the system or that was illegal. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. But you know the
D Hop a
NFL guys, they
dog
be on
though.
bush.
Yeah, D Hop a dog, but
That's
hey,
what I'm
don't take
saying. And when he came back, he was still dogging. That's what I'm saying. But you know, sometimes the NFL be on bullshit sometimes, bro. Like they be making up rules and all these regulations and shit. So I don't know. It'd be a hit or miss with the NFL sometimes. But anyway, D Hop was hurt. Then Marquise Brown got hurt. Then they signed my boy from the Panthers, Robbie Anderson. He didn't really come along. I think it took him a little while to like learn the system. And then Kyler kept getting injured. He had a concussion or something like that, and he came back and he hurt his knee. So it was a lot, man. I mean, it sucks that it kind of has a fall on one person, but that's what the head coaching job is. Like same thing with quarterback most of the time. Like you gotta take responsibility. Why you think Zach Wilson is going through what he's going through? Because he wasn't able to take responsibility.
And they ended up losing their general manager also, not just the coach, but the general manager. He stepped away from health reasons. But who is the best maybe coach to come in and coach Kyler Murray?
I want to say damn, what's my boy name from the Saints? Fuck.
You talking about
The guy that was
Sean Payton?
the one I interviewed. Yeah, Sean Payton. The only reason why I say Sean Payton, that's the only coach that kind of comes to mind, is because he coached Drew Brees, and Kyler Murray and Drew Brees, they're not the same quarterback.
They're nothing alike. They're nothing alike. They're both short as fuck. They both just short.
Exactly though. They both that's what I'm saying. They both short, which I feel like matters because I feel like Sean Payton can design certain plays for Kyler to kind of like see the field better, such as how even Drew Brees, that boy was seeing the field like crazy, bro. Like even though he was like 6 foot, barely 6 foot, shit, he was still able to throw the ball through them little windows and stuff. So I feel like Sean Payton might can design play calling to better fit Kyler Murray. That's the only reason why I compared them though.
So why not bring in like Eric Bieniemy? I think he'll be pretty good with a team like with the Cardinals. A lot of teams not taking him too serious, but I feel like that he was with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, of course, is not a mobile quarterback, but he's a quarterback that can move around and kind of like runs on the outside, throws on the outside, and I think Kyler Murray could adjust to that offense.
Yeah, I mean, I love Eric Bieniemy. That's like my number one coach for real. But to be honest, it seemed like for some reason, like I said, bro, the NFL be on bullshit, bro. Like, it seemed like teams don't want to. I don't know what it is, bro. But it's weird because LaShawn McCoy spent some time in KC with Eric Bieniemy, and I mean I fuck with LaShawn, and LaShawn is a pretty credible person around the league. He claimed that Eric Bieniemy isn't that great of a coach. So I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Some people think he's a good coach. Some people think he ain't. So.
And then how much time you got? You got like what, like 5-10 minutes?
Nah, bro. Honestly, I gotta go back right now. And my phone about to die. That's why I was trying to tell you. So I don't want to interrupt you, but my shit about to die like 1%. And my shit was on charger. But I think it's because we using this StreamYard. Because we using StreamYard, and like because it's probably taking a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But hey, if my shit cut off, my bad. If my shit cut off, just know my phone died. My shit legit on 1% right now.
No, it's all good. I was gonna talk about Quay Walker, but I know you got to get back. We'll probably just talk about Quay Walker either later or tomorrow. I gotta get my 2 cents on this dumbass, but we gonna get to it,
bro.
What
made him do that? That was so stupid. I ain't gonna lie. I was even watching it last night too. I'm just like, bro, you supposed to know not to do no shit like that. And it ain't like the nigga disrespected you. All yeah. And which was so funny was that he was tending to injured player. The injured player was DeAndre Swift, who also played at Georgia with Quay Walker. So it's like, bro, what are you doing?
I ain't even gonna show you. I'll let you go, bro. I know you ain't got too much time, but that motherfucker. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it either tomorrow or later when we get some time. But all right, y'all. But what do you want to let it be known, bro? Who got in the first round? We got the Niners versus the Seahawks, and then what's the other game?
It's honestly a lot.
On Saturday.
It's on Saturday. Niners, Seahawks, and Chargers and the Jags.
Chargers and the Jags. All right, y'all let it be known between those two scores.
Chargers gotta go to Jacksonville.
Ooh. How about this? Let it be known. Is Lamar Jackson gonna end up coming back this week, or is he not?
I was legit gonna say that. I feel like it's too hard for us to pinpoint one game because there's so many games on like this weekend. I feel like we should do the let it be known. But that's a good one though.
All right, later, y'all. We out. Hey, Lamar.
We go.